On today's episode of Man Dude, automotive, water pump in the Chevy equinox leaking. So you know we gotta take it apart, put it back together. Same way some come off, same way go back on. This one a little bit different today. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult because a lot more stuff gotta come off, but we're gonna get it done. I'm a man dude, so you can too.
We start our general disassembly with the air intake housing, and then the cover, then the air filter box. We'll take that off next. Now the water pump is located in the side of the engine. It's ran by the timing belt, so it's a lot more stuff we gotta take off. Then I took off the air intake mounting bracket, unplugged the mass airflow sensor, got the heat shield out, and then we're gonna take the top bolts off of the Cadillac converter. It's mounted that pretty tight. Had to grab some blasts, some like, you know, stuff to get it loose. And once I got it loose, you know what I'm saying, everything was all good. Grabbed my handheld, went to screwing up.
Now I'm finna go under the car. Gotta go under the car to get to the bottom half of the cat. And then, so I gotta remove the tire.
Never taking the tire off, we always loosen the nuts while it's still on the ground. And then you raise the car up to finish, you know, taking the nuts off. Do that, you can remove the tire. Got to the access panel to access the side of the engine block. Just make it easier to get to the water pump. From there you can see the water pump a lot better. Raise the car on up so I can get up under there. Climb on up under there and remove the valve mounting brackets that's connected to the Cadillac converter. Once I got that loose, you know what I'm saying, I can get the cat to drop down and have more space so I can get to the back of the engine. Unplug the airflow sensor from the cat. Now I can drop the cat down a lot easier. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's the water pump. It's the water pump right there. Water pump is mounted to the back of the engine. And you can see it right there. What I gotta do is loosen it up. Start loosening some of the bolts that's on the water pump. And then I can, you know, finish with. Drain the coolant from the pump. Still got some.
Now that I got it drained, I'm gonna see can I get to the thermostat housing and get the screws out of that and move it back.
Now the pipe running from the thermostat housing to the water pump. That's the side with the thermostat housing, which really need to get loose to remove it from the back of the water. The thermostat side, I took the sensor out, made it easy to get to that screw so I can loosen the pipe. I put a set of vice grips on the pipe, and then I'm gonna tap it to the side. Once I get the vice grips on there, I'm gonna tap it to the side and push the pipe back, because once you get it loose, it'll fall on out. A little bit more liquid. A little more coolant fill. Then I head back to the top of the block. I'm moving this motor mount, but first I'm gonna take the cover off the side of the engine that shows where the timing chain is connected to the water pump. Remove like 4 screws from the cover, and then you can, you know, remove the motor mount. The motor mount in there, you snatch. Make sure you got a jack up under your engine when you remove this motor mount though. To catch the engine so it won't fall as fast and as far, but you want the engine to slide down a little bit. So I did that, you know, let the engine down. Now I got a little play where you can see in the block. I'm going back and forth, putting that mount in and out to shift when I need it to come up and shift when I need it to come out. So I took the mount out. Now I can have more access to the inside panel. Jack, it's on jack. Access to them 3 screws that hold. This is a smart tool, very special tool that Chevy uses to put in their water pumps on, like a lot of Chevy Equinox, some Chevy cars. But yeah, you get this tool and it helps out a whole lot what it does is mount in on the timing wheel and holds it in place, and holds the timing chain and the timing wheel in place while you pull the bolts out. It's in place. Now we can go back under and get the bolts out of the water pump and go ahead and snatch that out. And once we get all the bolts out, we good to pull out. You can look inside there and see that the timing wheel's held in place. New water pump and the old water pump matches up the same. So now we just gotta put it back in and go in reverse. The hard part was lining these holes up. I had to take a pick and stick inside of there to get it to line up. So I mounted the water pump back up there. And then I went to the front, I put the O-ring back on the inside.
I go in reverse.
We'll get up and get to it then, buddy. But yeah, I had to take a pick to line these holes back up. A little pin I used to line the water pump up with the timing belt and line it back up. I stuck that pick in there, line the holes back up. What I used to put the screw back in, though, is a magnet. I put a magnet on like the wrench, so you don't want to drop the stuff down in there. That's gonna be a hassle. So did that, put the bolts back on there, back on the inside on the wheel, and then once you do that, you take your tool off, put your cover back on, put your tie back on, and you head it in reverse. Once you mount everything back in, tighten everything back up, cause that's generally what it is. The hardest part is lining them holes up. Once you take the water pump off and put it back in, and that little pick came in handy to line them holes up. Once you get that part out, it's all good. Tight space, but it can be done in time and manner. I just took my time, and it took all day with this one. So I, going back up with everything, put the exhaust manifold back in, put the cap back in, mounted the brackets back up, and then, put all the parts back on, tighten everything back up. Job is definitely tedious, but that tool helps out a lot. Best to have that tool to hold the timing chain when working with water pumps that runs off the timing chain. So I got everything back on. Now I'm just gonna refill the coolant system. Not GMC, but Chevrolet brand. Man, do this so you can too. We back up and going.